for difficult walking. On this barren land, relying on his superhuman eyesight, Riddick soon discovered a waterfall flowing over a canyon not far away. It seemed there should be fresh water, so he hurriedly made his way there. Sure enough, he found sweet, tasty spring water in a cave. After drinking his fill, Riddick saw what seemed to be a strange passage across the waterhole. But before he could think much about it, that pesky mixed-breed hound from before actually brought two helpers, had tracked his scent. They seemed intent on a fight to the death. With no other choice, he quickly held his breath and quietly hid behind a rock, closely observing their every move. Unbeknownst to him, something more terrifying was hidden in the mud. As the hounds drew closer, it quietly revealed a tail used to lure prey. A hound was bitten on the leg by the sudden snake-like creature. Deadly toxins rapidly spread through its body. In mere moments, it was convulsing and died right there. The other two hounds, seeing this, fled in terror. They no longer cared about Riddick hiding in the corner. Seeing the vultures circling endlessly in the sky and the huge animal skull at his feet, Riddick also realized this was no place to linger. But before he could turn and leave, he bumped right into one of the snake creatures. Fortunately, from his earlier observation, he knew the tail was just the monster's decoy. The real killing blow was hidden in the mud. Riddick seized the moment, grabbed a thick bone to block the creature's fangs, and used all his strength to restrain it, not letting it get any closer. As the creature pulled back, he immediately let go, finally creating distance. He barely managed to scramble into the sunlight and save his life. The creature seemed unable to stay away from water for long. It bit through the bone with fury and returned to the mud. After this event, Riddick finally understood that every creature on this planet wanted to eat him alive. To survive, he had to heal his leg injury as soon as possible. Only then would he be able to face the unknown dangers. Fortunately, by evening, he found a seemingly safe cave. There were faint traces of human habitation inside, so he immediately toppled the stone monument and hid himself in the recess beneath it. This way, he could both avoid the perilous night and rest his injury, and have enough time to think about how he had ended up in this situation. In his dream, he seemed to return to his days of pride and power. He remembered how he became the first Lord Marshal of the Necro. He replaced the previous king to become the Grand Marshal of the Interstellar Empire. To develop an immunity to the basilisk's lethal venom, Riddick pinched the creature's rather small head, pressed its fangs into a bone container, and squeezed hard. He then collected the extracted venom, pulled out his dagger, and carefully carved out the basilisk's fangs from its mouth. He attached them to an animal bladder to make a simple injector, but he wasn't in a hurry to test it on himself. Instead, he slowly injected a small amount of the venom into a dog to observe its reaction. Just as expected, the dog immediately fell unconscious after contact with the toxin, but after only half an hour, it woke up again, alive and kicking. This meant the basilisk's venom contained a paralytic agent. If prepared correctly, it wouldn't be life-threatening. And so, Riddick began trying injections on himself. Unexpectedly, right after the first injection, he felt dizzy and lightheaded. He was not only weak all over, but also suffered from intense vomiting. This was his immune system fighting the toxin. He just had to endure it to develop antibodies. Finally, after months of continuous injections, the previous symptoms vanished completely. The venom was no longer a threat. Seeing no time to lose, he slung his homemade large bone blade on his back, ready to settle the score with the basilisk in the murky swamp. As Riddick leaped down, ripples immediately spread across the water's surface. The hiding basilisk, sensing movement, used the eyes on its tail to get a good look at Riddick. It quickly